All right, I think we are on now. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing? We are doing our fourth tutorial of the week, and it is only Tuesday. And today we have a very special guest. We have Gabriel from Gemifly, who is one of the featured sponsors in our Forever Frosted collab box. So welcome, Gabe. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing this evening?
What's up, everybody? I know you were pretty excited when you got this. I certainly was because, there's my logo. I'm really happy to have included what is our very first sample ever. I know some of you have probably played with it, probably moved it around a bit. We learned a lot with this first round of samples, so we'll go over that a little later. But nevertheless, thank you, Shannon, for having me here. I just got out of work myself. I don't know if probably most of you know who I am, but at this point, I would love to just give you a quick background. We're known for adding crystal rhinestones to high-end fashion and sneakers. Been doing that for about 3-4 years now professionally, and set my first jewel about 8 years ago. And since then, I have gone through all the struggles that all you have, meaning not being able to find the right glue for the right situations. Luckily, I was able to start a relationship with a glue company out of Seattle. They're called Glue Masters, and I got to get to know them a little bit, use their flagship product that nobody was really using at the time. But that's kind of how I made my name in the adhesive scene, so to speak. But fast forward 3-4 years, now the lab is asking me, Gabe, you're starting to make some waves with Gemifly and what you're doing. If you could tell us what you need, I was kind of giving them hints. If you can make me something with characteristics that I know me and my industry would love, meaning the rhinestone people, I needed to be flexible. I needed to be fast. I needed to be low odor. I needed to, work on basically anything. So they gave me 4 samples. I chose the one that I loved the most, and we started mass producing it in little batches. But, you guys are getting the second batch ever. And just so you know, we'll be offering it on Amazon very soon. We're deep in the process of getting it on there. So this is called Gemiflex. It is a flexible cyano acrylate from Glue Masters, and I'm happy to put my name on it. So here we are.
So, okay, go back a second and say the name of what's the type of the glue, because I can never say it right, and I start calling it like cyan something, and then I get tongue-tied.
Sure.
So...
I don't know if you guys can see the actual word there, but I'm going to phonetically spell it out. It's cyanoacrylate. That's kind of how I say it.
Cyanoacrylate. Okay.
Cyanoacrylate. That's kind of how I say it. Yep. We had a formula back in the day called the Bedazzle Shoe Glue, which again was just almost repackaging a little bit what we have going on with Glue Masters and some of their flagship products that they weren't selling, but I could really use in my industry. But anywho, so we changed the packaging, we changed the label, and it doesn't say shoe on it anymore. It is now artisan glue, so that people know you can use it on many things, such as tumblers and our things here. So you might notice I didn't get time to get mine going yet, but it's still going to work.
No, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do that together. So perfect.
Nice. Okay, very good.
Perfect.
Anyhow, just wanted to give you that introduction, and I might need to fix my lighting. I know it's a little weird in here, but you can hear me. Everything's okay.
Yeah. If you want to adjust your light, I can just do both my cameras while you do that, and then let me know, or you can stay on, whatever works. Just let me know.
I'd love to try to make it a little bit less bluey greeny. I don't know what the heck you can say, but let me go ahead and let you do your thing for a second here while I get some lighting adjustments.
Yeah, so I will go ahead and get everybody started, and then I'll pop you off for a second, and just let me know when you're ready to come back in.
That works great. Thank you. Happy to be here.
All right, perfect. Okay, so while he is doing that, what we're going to be working on today is we're going to be starting the Tumbler project that is in the Forever Frosted Bling boxes. So we are going to be covering and combining a lot of the items that are in this box together. So this is really the big collab project from all of the brands and sponsors and everybody that put items into this box. And we're going to combine it into one really awesome project. So be prepared. This is going to be in a two-part tutorial because there are a lot of steps to it. If you are someone who is new to rhinestoning, please do not be intimidated. I am literally going to walk you through it step by step, everything that you need to know in order to create this tumbler. And if you're somebody who's a little bit more advanced and you want to change things up a little bit and make it a little bit different, feel free to do that. Feel free to make this project whatever you want it to be. The only thing I will say though is if you do change it a little bit, just be mindful of the other projects that are in here. Like with the pen project, you don't want to use all of the rhinestones that are for the pen project and put it on the tumbler. Then you won't have enough to do that project. So I'm going to go ahead and open the box. We did do the unboxing yesterday. I did do it with our tutorial that we had this morning with our feature sponsor, MakerFlo. If you missed any of those tutorials, don't worry. You can go back to our YouTube channel, go to the live section, and in the live section, you can see all of the tutorials that we've already done. You can go back, replay them, rewatch them, stop them, pause them, rewind them, all of that fun stuff. And redo any of the steps that you may have missed, or make sure that you understand what we were saying or how we did something. But if you have any questions at all, feel free to join our Facebook group, which is Bling Your Things Rhinestones. We have almost 8,000 members in our group. You can ask your questions there. And if I'm not able to answer them, one of our amazing Bling crew members will be able to answer them for you and help you along the way. So let's see who is joining us. And thank you guys for joining me. If I see a couple of faces or names that have joined for all 4 tutorials so far. So thank you guys. I see Miss Lopez is back. How are you? She has been, I think you've been on all 4. Miss Elizabeth is here. Julia from Pennsylvania is here. Miss Teresa is here. How are you? And I know I missed a few people. Tumblers by Renee is here, and she is actually one of our featured brand partners in this box as well. She is going to be joining us on a tutorial on Thursday, and then RB Craig Designs is going to be joining us on Friday. That was the other thing I loved about doing this box, is having everybody collaborate together on the products that were in the box, but also joining us for the tutorials and like doing them with us. So literally getting so many different people and the different facets of the rhinestone world and the projects and stuff, and everybody coming together, all of us helping promote each other, and get everyone's eyes on everything and everybody helping each other. So that's one of the main things I really love about this box. So Salty Girl for Justice is here. How are you? And if I miss anyone, I do apologize. Miss Rona is here. If you have questions as we go, please post them in the chat, and I will go back and try to answer them as we are going. If you could also do us another favor and go ahead and like this video so that it helps push it out to other people. And if you are not subscribed to our channel or Gabe's channel, which I believe he is Gemifly Official on YouTube, go ahead and give him a follow as well. And then I will check on him in a second, but let's go ahead and unbox the items that we are going to need to start this project. And I'll switch my cameras. Gabe, are you good?
We'll have to see.
Are you good? Okay. Okay. All right. So, I switched the wrong camera. All right. We are going to go ahead and grab the stuff out of the box that we need. You are going to need the white Thule Art paint pen. And in your supply bag, you are going to need your sandpaper, the Gemifly artisan glue, and this, I'm going to tell you guys right now to go ahead and lay it on its side.
so that the glue can be towards the top. This isn't the normal bottle that it comes in, so this little lip is kind of like catching it when I was going to use it. So go ahead and set it on its side right now. So it's ready.
I don't want to take too much time on this whatnot, but this is again our first time transferring over into these smaller bottles for this project in particular. Otherwise, it does come in a 1 ounce bottle. Nevertheless, I have some great stories to tell. I'm going to start with the first one. I'm going to do 3 throughout the night. But the first one is, we definitely learned that my glue can completely shut this thing for forever. Some of the bottles, it wasn't many, but when in shipment, they glued themselves shut. So poor gal, she goes, I can't open it. Luckily, most of them weren't there, but I want to give a huge shout out to her boyfriend who came in with some good ideas and suppliers, and he helped us out there. So thank you, Shannon. They ended up putting a little bit of Vaseline on the top to make sure that doesn't happen when it goes to you guys. So she put forth the effort. It's going to be kind of gunky when you open it, just so you know. But that's the Vaseline that she did to make sure that it doesn't, glue shut, because we found out that can happen. So that said, it is also a little bit on the thicker side now. We're going to learn from this, but that's why we're asking you to put it on the side, please, so that it can have time to start to, go down a little bit so we can work on it. Just put it on the side there, and then that's story number 1. Okay, back to Shannon.
All right. Yes, they were. I was like in a panic when I got. I went to go make like a practice item, and then I probably panicked when I was messaging Gabe, like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? And then my boyfriend came and was like, oh, I can get these open. And he just opened them all up. So it was like, everything worked out.
Correct.
But it was awesome.
Very cool indeed. Getting all these things together was already quite the learning experience. But you did a really good job, Shannon, with choosing all these products to put together in a box. I really like this one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm using a lot of it, and gave a few things away as gifts to my receptionist at work. So.
and I love that you're joining us for this tutorial, because normally Gabe, the projects that he makes are his crystal kicks, his crystal sneakers. He does some apparel as well. So I think doing a tumbler is a little out of his normal wheelhouse.
Definitely things that scare people are doing shoes. Things that scare me are doing tumblers. Like, it's backwards, but it's true. So, this is what I'm used to. Is my bread and butter. And a lot of you know me for this, but I was very excited to, jump on over to Tumbler world for a bit.
So maybe we'll be teaching you a little bit this time, and then we can take one of your classes later, and you can teach us how to make sneakers.
Here for it. Let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so then you're going to need this printed pattern. This is what we're going to be making on the tumbler. You are going to need the tumbler and the handle. And for rhinestones, we need all 3 packs of the SS20s, the aquamarine, jonquil, and crystal. And you're going to need the multi-size pack of the crystal. I've already opened that one for mine, so you guys will need that one for yours. We're not going to use all of those tonight. Like I said, this is going to be in a 2-part tutorial. So we're just going to kind of like get this started. Gabe's going to help us demonstrate how to use his glue, and we'll get started with the tumbler. Okay, the first thing with this is we need to make sure that we are going to have our pattern line up correctly, because this is what the tumbler is going to look like when we are finished. I forgot this. You do need these 3 little white 3D printed hearts. Those are going to go on the center, and we need to make sure that they line up with the handle correctly. So step 1 is we're going to put the handle on. And this does go on 2 ways. You can put it on, it's easier to see with this. if it goes on this way, then the handle will be in the back. If I started it from here, then the handle will end up that way. So we want to make sure that our 3D printed hearts line up correctly. So however you put your handle on is going to be how you follow your pattern. So we'll have it on, and we need to make kind of like a tick mark with a pencil. If you don't have one, you can use the paint pen. And here's the handle. We're going to kind of just make a little tick mark right here to know that that's going to be our center. And then you can take the handle back off. Let's see.
I lost my markers. Typical.
Uh-oh, if you don't have it, if you have a pencil, you can mark that side.
No, I have it. I put it all in a very easy to find spot that is no longer easy to find.
You hit it on yourself.
Go me. I know.
We are going to sand this a little bit. This is their new powder coated tumblers. So you're just going to sand this lightly. If you sand too hard, you're going to take all of the green off. So we just want to get this like top layer of like shine off of it. You're just kind of dulling it up a little bit. You don't got to go crazy. And then after you've sanded it, you can use your alcohol prep pad and then go ahead and clean it off. And then get all of that dust off up there. So does anyone have any questions so far? I see someone said they love Gabe, they love his work.
That's funny. I've tried to join the chat a few times, guys, and it says you have to use your YouTube account. So I've put it in and I push go and it doesn't let me. So I can't type, I can't chit chat in the chat with you guys right now.
Somebody
Terrible.
told me that they had that problem yesterday. I'm not sure why that
Weird.
is. I tried to look into that, but I couldn't find anything or replicate it myself.
Right. Oh, and I you know what? I tried both my YouTube accounts. I will try again because I wanna burn up this chat with a bunch of questions and a bunch of answers, but let's try one more time here. Let's just check it out.
Okay, so we got that done. Then step 2, we are going to use the Jonquil color of the multi-size to do the hearts. So we want to color the background of this so that we can minimize the appearance of gaps between our stones. And we don't have to do all 3 of these right now, just so that we can kind of like speed up the tutorial a little bit. So we can just do 1, and then we'll use the Gemiflex to apply it to the tumbler, and then we'll go from there. So to prime your paint pens, we need to shake this to get kind of like the paint flowing in there.
Right.
And then you have to burp it. You have to allow a little bit of air in there so that the paint can come out. So to do that, you push this tip up against the hard surface and you press it up and down a couple times. And then the paint will start coming into the felt tip. And then once it gets there, it's ready to go. And then we can just color our heart with the paint pen. So today is Tuesday. Does anybody else do Taco Tuesday? Like every Tuesday?
I will tell my taco story for the day. My wife actually is from Nebraska, and we met here in Phoenix, and she grew up in a restaurant that her parents owned. It was a Mexican restaurant. How crazy is that? Mexican restaurant for 40 years has been open out in Nebraska. Today she comes home with tacos and says, Gabe, I found a Mexican restaurant that tastes like my dad's restaurant. And I said, no way. So anyway, she was obsessed about it. She was freaking out. I took a couple bites, and that was right before jumping on. And it was pretty delicious. So a legit Taco Tuesday for us here at the Gemifly residence.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fun.
I always feel like Taco Tuesday is like the easy go-to for dinner.
Oh, okay then.
And it's never, you can always like mix it up with like, you know, chicken or beef or whatever you're doing. And It's never like the same every Tuesday.
I'm surprised you find time to eat, Shannon, because you're so busy and doing things like that. Like, you know, you need to remember to do that. But you're obsessed. You love it.
I do.
My heart's coming out pretty good. How about you?
Yeah, you don't technically need to color the back because we're going to glue this to the tumbler.
That's right.
But if you want to be thorough, you can do that.
And you know, I can't really get into the crevice, right? Can you? I don't know if you can get into the top of the heart, but
yeah, right there in the edge, in that little crack, you can't with the felt tip pen.
Because you can, I mean, even if you grab like even just like a tiny paintbrush or anything really, like a tissue maybe, yeah, you can just grab some of the paint that you have on this and get right in there. I've tried to kind of drip some into there, but anyhow.
Yeah, I think what I did before is I took my, like the edge of the alcohol prep pad and I put like a little extra dot.
There you go.
Like right there.
Yep. Awesome.
And then I drug it with the edge of the alcohol swab.
There you go.
Like into the crack.
That's perfect.
So then it is covered. And hopefully you didn't get it all over your fingers like I did.
That's the fun part, Shannon. This is the art and craft part here. You can't walk away.
Yes. Yes.
Now, there it is. All right. Mine is looking great.
All right. We're going to let that dry a little bit. So just for sake of being able to start, the center of this tumbler, where our hearts are going to go, we want to be able to minimize the appearance of the green showing through in between our rhinestones. So we're going to take the white paint pen and color like a third of this. And we don't have to do the whole thing right now, just down far enough where we can put this first heart. So if you kind of want to do, we got your center mark, go over about, I don't know, 2 inches on both sides of that. And it doesn't have to be straight. Don't worry about being symmetrical. And then color in this section really quick. It doesn't have to be completely covered. We just want to help minimize the appearance of gaps when we're putting our stones down.
Can you say that again, Shannon? I'm supposed to color in both sides of this 3 parts that I just
Okay,
made?
sorry. So if we
Okay.
think about the tumbler being in thirds, right?
Yep.
So our pattern, we're going to have the center of it is going to be the crystal color with the hearts in the center. And then on each side is going to be the aquamarine and the jonquil.
I see. Okay.
So when we had our handle on here, we marked where our center was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we know where to put our hearts. And now we want to color the background where our crystal rhinestones are going to go. And we're going to use the white to help minimize any gaps between our stones. So spatial wise, if we take where we marked our center,
Yep.
go 2 inches to the right, 2 inches to the left, and color in that third of the tumbler.
1, 2 and a third. Got it.
And so for like sake of time, we don't have to do the whole thing. We can just do this kind of like in sections.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to look pretty. We're not going for artist awards here.
So how is life in Florida right now? Finally cooling down? Like it's enjoyable?
It is freezing today.
Freezing?
We had a cold front come through.
How about that?
And it's the first one of the year. And I think they said today, like today specifically, is the coldest November 11th in 100 years.
Wow. Amazing.
I don't know how they figure that or calculate that, all that stuff. But it was like 36 degrees this morning when I got up.
That is wild. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, our normal, like during this year, is still like in the 60s.
Uh-huh.
So we had like a nice little rainstorm and a whole bunch of wind, and it brought all the cold. But what about you guys in Arizona?
Oh no, it's finally beautiful. Now we're attractive. All of a sudden, that's what happens when it finally gets to the temperatures where, well, what do they call them? Snowbirds, right?
Yes.
Are you familiar with the snowbirds?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I want to be a snowbird someday. That's my aspirations. But yeah, no, it's gorgeous out here right now, finally. But we have had to put up with, once again, another wild year of hot weather, and that's just what we signed up for. But so I went down a third, and I went over 2 inches on both sides of my line. Did you go down more, or is that good?
Like you can color the whole. Eventually, we're going to color this whole section.
Gotcha. Okay.
But for sake of like doing this in sections and be able to get through far of it, we can just do about half of it right now.
Love it. Snowbirds are migrating, they say. Count me in.
Yeah, where I live, it's a very touristy area. Mm-hmm. We're about 5 minutes from the beach.
Okay.
It's bad as it normally is, but because of the hurricanes last year, the whole beach area was like decimated, flooded. We had a lot of damages where I live, like my car got smashed, had to get a new roof, new windows, like crazy. All kinds of stuff. So not as many people came back, but everybody that is here is still in a whole year later. We're still in like repair mode, fixing everything. Like I literally just got one of my windows fixed last week. And we were waiting about 9 months just for the window to come.
Right.
Because everything is so busy. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. That is wild. Okay.
Okay, so now that we have that,
Mm-hmm.
next step is we can go ahead and put the heart on. We are going to space these about a third. Well, not a third. Let's see. We are going to space this about 2 inches from the top and try to get it as centered as possible. So I usually put my tumblers down. If you don't have one of those little cradles or whatever, you don't need it. You can use like the little heart to make like a little wedge so that it doesn't move. You can use your squeegee and put it in there just to kind of hold it so it doesn't move. And then we will use your Gemiflex and put it on the back of the 3D heart and attach it. So we are going to take the lid off. And like Gabe had mentioned, we did have a little bit of hiccup with these. You may need to take a pair of scissors and trim the top like you would with the normal glue of this type. You can use, in the bag, there was some blunt tip needles. You can use those, but for this, because of the surface area, you don't have to use that. You can just apply it direct to the back of the heart and attach it to the tumbler.
Correct. I wanted to mention really quick, like that the glue itself works really well in tiny amounts. And generally, with the rhinestones and things like that, we want to ideally use a droplet that's half the size of the rhinestone. That's the perfect, I call it the crystal ratio. But Shannon had also asked me, can this work, with other stuff? And the active ingredient in here, how you say it again, Shannon? Do you know how do you say it?
Cyanoacrylate.
Beautiful. The cyanoacrylate. Again.
Okay.
Okay. I like how you say it better, but it's kind of a one glue to rule them all, and so it will definitely work on this. It is now a little bit on the thicker side again because of the choice that we're using in terms of bottle, but mine is starting to come out, and you want to make sure that there's a good little glob, I would say, in. Okay, so at the top of the heart, one of the round parts, that's 1, 2, right in the center, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would say 6 good dots all around will do the trick. But is yours nice and thick there, little Shannon?
Yep. It kind of like, and I think, like you said, I think it's the type of bottle. I think the bottle kind of like thickened it up a little bit.
It doesn't have like a in terms of top, like, again, guys, these are like some pretty basic little eyedropper things. But as of right now, the consistency is actually nice and gooey. Straight out of the bottle that I have over here, not the case. It is not the case. It is very, very, viscous. It is like almost like it's definitely more watery than what we have going on right now. But I now have been able to cover the back of it. Yeah. By the way, I'm using a laptop instead of my iMac, and I don't know if it likes colors, but anyway, so if you can see that, but we have just enough on there. There we go. Put that back sideways. I guess find your center line, and you can apply. It will start to bite very soon. Let me make sure mine's nice and straight there. I like that. There we go. I'm also filming over here. You can push down a little bit and kind of smush it around a little bit like there. But I will mention, if you've ever super glued your fingers together, that's the active ingredient inside this formula. Now, the special ingredients in the side of the formula, the secret ingredient comes from England. And that has been kind of ruining my day lately because it's kind of hard to get shipped over here. But we finally got it, and then it gets boiled in Chicago. And then it finally gets shipped to me. So what makes super glue so amazing is how fast it works and how strong it bonds. It's about 3,000 pounds of bonding strength. But general super glue will dry really strong but brittle. There are vulnerabilities in regular super glue that flexible super glue, which is, again, much harder to make and requires a little bit more science. That's what I had Glue Masters look into for me. So we turned what was their strongest industrial strength glue into a flexible version, and that is what we are providing here. So give it some time here, push it down, and as long as it's in a good spot. Shannon, can I move to the next one?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I got mine on. Can I move to the next one? And
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys got it on, there you go.
And you can readjust your hearts too. Like if you don't want to put them in a straight line, you guys want to do them in a different order or different pattern, you're more than free to make this your own design.
Good point.
So you could also do them in the crystal color. But in my opinion, they should be a different color than the background so that they stand out. Otherwise, they're going to kind of wash and blend in, and you're not really going to be able to see that they're like three-dimensional.
And again, guys, how about, an apology for the... Okay, there it goes. Mine wasn't working for a minute, but now there it goes. We'll figure it out, right, Shannon? You live and learn, and these little eyedropper bottles, not the best overall for when we're trying to make bling boxes, but it's doing the trick. I hope everyone.
I think what is happening is because there's the edge of this is kind of like a 90-degree angle. I think it's getting caught right there, and it's taking a little bit longer for it to get over that hump.
That's right. And since it's not filled to the top, it kind of just has to wait for gravity.
Yes.
To create that suction, and then now you can push it. So, right on. But we're learning. We're making it happen. Okay, mine's looking awesome. So Tracy in the comments was asking, when do bling boxes go on sale?
Oh, sorry, I didn't see that. So every month we have a new bling box that we have it in like two different ways. You can sign up as a subscription, or you can do a one-time purchase. And this box is not like our normal box. There's a lot more stuff in this than what's in our normal boxes. But the boxes are available starting on the 15th, and then they ship between the 1st and the 5th, and they include 5 to 6 rhinestone products, a project to work on, and either a pattern or an SVG. So everything kind of like ties together. We also have what we call our mom packs, our mix of the month. You get 2 packs of custom mix, a solid color in a mix, and a solid color in a single size. You can either get the bling box or the combo box or the mix of the month. And what was I going to say? I think I said something backwards. That's why I caught myself. Anyway, they go on sale on the 15th of the month, and then they ship between the 1st and the 5th. If you didn't get this box, the collab box, there is a couple of them left. There's less than 10 of them left. You can find them on our website. Right on the homepage, there's a banner. If you click that, it'll take you right to them. And they are ready to ship now. So
Your website is packed with stuff, Shannon.
there's probably too much stuff on there.
Never, but yeah, no, it's kind of like a one-stop shop for everything. So I love it.
I try to keep a lot of stuff on there, whether you're new and you're just learning and starting and you need everything, or you are experienced and you need, like, we just added bulk packs of rhinestones. So if you rhinestone a lot and you need a whole bunch of a single size, we now have bulk packs. We have over 100, and I think we have almost 140 colors now. Plus, like, the mixes. This doesn't include the hot fix rhinestones.
I like your bling chart. Looks great.
Say that again.
Your bling chart is starting to come along real nicely.
Oh, thank you. I made those one weekend, and it took me like 2 days to make 40 of them.
I know how long it takes. We have I like to literally, it's even listed on my website. I call it the most comprehensive crystal color chart in America. I'm just going to own that. But the fact that we have over 500 plus colors on I think, I don't know. In fact, I'm looking at it right here, guys. So this is our crystal color chart. My crystal supplier, his name is Steve. He's very cute. Oh, what's going on here? Why am I missing? Oh, I get it. It's the so it comes with like this clear backing, right? So you can make sure it's always the right color against the fabric or whatever you're working on. But he was a Swarovski reseller for over 20 years. Now, when they went private back in 2022, he was, forced to change his entire website, change everything. But he still has so much legacy Swarovski, and has just been godsend. I can show up at his studio up until midnight to get crystal whenever I want. Like, he's just
nice.
It's just the coolest thing, and sometimes that's necessary. Like, as weird as it sounds, like when you run out of a color or a size and it's late at night and something's due in the morning, man, it's nice to have that.
Absolutely.
Anywho, so after years and years and years of being a Swarovski supplier, he started, offering other types of now European crystals. But he's got well over 500 colors, now has them on a big color chart. And it's just, there might be a little option paralysis going on because there might be too many colors. But it's nice to have. I can tell you that. It's nice to have too many colors. Just like your website.
Yeah, I try to make sure that we had all of the core colors covered.
Yep. Oops.
And then a lot of the AB colors.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, I'm trying to get some of this to come. I think I'm going to set this upside down.
Yes,
so
I would say
move past that hump.
Yes, get it upside down. I think it's the best so that it can get past that little lip there, whatever it may be. But
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and then maybe I'll move to the other part now that we know how to do that. But yeah, let's see. So like all of the colors, I made sure that we had the whole rainbow and our core colors, a lot of the AB colors that are the most popular, the metallics. The other ones are a lot of items that were customer requests. Sometimes I will put out surveys and ask our current customers, like, what colors are they looking for? What colors do they use a lot of? And then I will add those. Our most popular sizes that we normally have is SS6, 10, 16, and 20. So I'll bring them in those sizes first, and then I'll start adding some of the smaller sizes.
Excellent.
Which, like with the multi-packs, and I think you are starting to add these to your shoe kits.
and offerings. Yeah, people love those.
So that is fun too. All right, let me get this in here. Will it fit in that? Here we go. What can I put this in so that it's upside down? We'll try that. All right, so let's go ahead and start on the pattern. For that, we are going to need our syringe, the 20 gauge blunt tip needle, and the SuperTite fusion tack. And then I'll show you guys how to put this in the syringe and use it correctly.
I would love to take this moment to let you all know that I had an amazing time. I do need to go pick up some helpers to finish my projects for the evening. But I believe my heart editions are complete.
You
Mine's
got them on?
Yeah, mine's are great. Went on really, really nicely. But there we go. That said, I do need to go pick him up so we can get started on some shoes. I am working on a pair of cleats for the she's the #1 ranked quarterback in America, flag football on U17, under 17, and her high school made it to state. So she'll be wearing some Gemifly crystal cleats in her championship game in not this Saturday, but next Saturday. But guys, I haven't started yet.
Very cool.
And I am freaking out. So I'm starting to ask around who might be able to help. I'm drawing a crawl on some friends who have helped me over the years. So I got to go pick up a few folks and get started on these shoes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that said, I hate to leave you guys because we're having a good time. But
well, thank you for joining us. I'm glad we were able to get your Gemiflex in our box so that people can try it out and sample it and see how great and amazing it is. And I can't wait for the future things that you and I are able to work on together. So
yeah,
thanks for joining us, and we will see you. We'll see you next time.
So many more times coming, guys. Thank you so very much. And thanks everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. I will figure out how to sign in next so that we can just burn that up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But in the meantime, I gotta go work on some cleats. Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. All right. There we go. Now we have both of them back. Let's see. Teresa was saying thank you. Sorry, I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss anybody's comments or questions. Did you do the white on the handle attachment where it aligns with the white of the cup? So Elizabeth is asking, I think, on the handle, because where it lines up here. So yes, I did color this section. I did fill in this section of the handle with the white paint pen as well. For the handle, because of the type of surface this is, it's a little bit different than normal, like acrylic. It's kind of like rigid. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of rigid, like in the surface. It's not smooth per se. So you want to make sure that you sand this really well. Like the amount of sanding that you did on the tumbler itself was not really a lot. On this handle, you want to make sure that you really sand this so that the glue can get in there and attach to it. Because it is shiny, it's really like smooth. If you don't sand it really well, you're kind of just going to be putting your adhesive on the top of the it's just going to be sitting on the top of it, and it's not really going to have anything to grip to and sink down into. So make sure that you spend a little bit extra time sanding the handle on this before you put your rhinestones on it. You don't have to rhinestone the handle if you don't want to. I just thought when I wasn't really a fan of it not rhinestoned. So you see how it kind of like it looks good. I like it, but I thought it looked better when it was rhinestoned. But yes, I did color the background of where the crystal rhinestones are going to go. I did color that with the paint pens. It goes that way. I can't get it back in there right. There we go. All right. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. Oops. So there we go. So there we go. Okay. Any other questions that I missed, please post them in the chat again, and I will try to get back to them. All right. So we have that. Let's go ahead and start with the pattern, and show you how to work with that. If you've worked with any other type of rhinestone pattern, this is just like a follow along. You are going to follow the pattern. You can work from right to left, or if you are a left-handed person, you can work from, totally did not come out right. If you're right-handed, most people will start from the left and work left to right in the same way that you would read a book. If you are left-handed, you will probably start from the right and work to the left so that you are, whatever way you're going to continue to move your hand in the same direction, that you're not going to drag your hand through your work, so that you're always placing your work in front of you, and then you're working into open space where you're not setting your hand on top of your rhinestones, right? So we are going to apply our stones with the 5 ml syringe and the 20 gauge blunt tip needle. These are both in your supply bag. And then you're going to use the SuperTite fusion tack. And in order to put the glue into the syringe, you need to take the plunger out. I'm trying to see if I have one. Let me transfer this so I can show you guys. Oops. All right, so you are going to take the fusion tack, take your plunger out, stick your glue into the syringe. I like to try to touch the tip to the edge of the syringe. And then, unless you're a crazy person, squeeze from the bottom up. And then put maybe about an inch of glue in there. You don't want to fill this up. You can always add more later. Then take your syringe, your plunger, and push it in. Slowly push it to the top to squeeze all of the air out of that. And then after you get it to the top, then you're going to put your blunt tip needle onto the end. And it is a twist top, so it will twist into the syringe. And then put your lid back on your glue. I normally will practice pushing out my glue so that you can get a feel for the syringe on how hard you need, on how hard you need to press the plunger, how much is going to come out, what the consistency is. So if you kind of practice that first, if you have any where like I just had it where it kind of like squirted out the side, you're going to have that accident per se on your napkin instead of on your project. Then there's a couple different ways that you can hold this. Some people hold it like this and press with their thumb. I normally hold it like a pencil, and then I will push the plunger with the palm of my hand. Someone else was holding it like this earlier. I think they were pressing with their finger this way. Whatever way is comfortable for you on the way that you hold it is perfectly fine. There's no wrong way to hold it. Sorry, I got glue everywhere when I tried to transfer it. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got that. Someone says, what other glues can you use on? What other glues can you use? So glue is kind of a preference. It's kind of a preference on what you like to use. There's other stuff like Liquid Fusion. There's E6000. I don't recommend E6000 just because of the chemicals and everything that is in it. If you do use that, you should be wearing a respirator with it. Sometimes I'll use E6000 plus resin glue on some things, but that's like on rare occasions. And I'm always wearing a respirator with that, as well as making sure I have a fan on, I have the windows open, I'm in a well-ventilated area. Really, glue, the type of glue that you use is going to depend on the material that you're putting it on. There's no one size glue fits all kind of thing. It's really the item that you're putting it on is going to determine the type of glue that you use. And there's a whole plethora of different types of glues that you can use, way more than what I could cover now. If you go on our website, which is blingyourthings.com, go to the bling tip section, and I have a chart in there that has different types of glues and the different types of surfaces that you can use it on, as well as if it's recommended to wear a respirator when you're using that. What type of safety precautions should you be using? Really, if you're using any glue, you should be really reading the SDS sheet, which is the safety data sheet that is required by the manufacturer for them to put that in there to tell people what harmful substances or chemicals are in their products and the precautions people need to take when using it. There are some glues out there that I see people use every day when rhinestoning, that some of those manufacturers, I'm not sure how they do it, but they cannot produce the SDS sheet for their product. And if a product is not able to produce the SDS sheet, that should tell you something, that you probably shouldn't be using that type of product. But again, that's up to you on the type of risks that you want to take with your health and the items that you're using. Some people like to use Liquid Fusion over Fusion Tack. Liquid Fusion is a urethane-based glue. I don't use it because when I tested it, does it work? Sure. Does it work and last? In my experience, over time, because it is a urethane-based glue, that glue started turning yellow, and it eventually turned the glue underneath my rhinestones yellow, which changed the color of my overall project, and it made it look dingy. So it might look good in the beginning with anything, but over time, some products can yellow, which is going to affect the longevity of your item. So, I mean, really, glue is a personal choice. You should always test it and try it out and see how it works for you. So, all right, let's get back to working on this pattern. All right. I am right-handed, so I'm going to start from the left and work right. Actually, I'm going to start this way because we did that. Yeah. So really any of the area here where we place the white rhinestones is going to be the crystal, and anything outside of that is going to be the aquamarine. Only 49 rhinestones are going to fit per row on this. So we want to make sure that we are following the number of rhinestones that are put on per row. You don't want to add extras, and you don't want to take any out. If you take some out, you're going to end up with gaps between your stones. And if you try to add an extra, then they're all not going to fit. So we need to fit of the crystal 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. This area right here needs to be 15 rhinestones. So I'm going to start here actually, and then I'm going to do a whole row of crystal and then of aquamarine. And then I'm going to make sure that I can fit 15 crystal. So you're just going to put a small line of glue. You don't need a whole lot. And then I don't have a tray anywhere. I will just put them down here. Oh, that's the wrong color. Don't. I need the aquamarine. All right, so now we have our line of glue. I'm going to use my wax pencil, and I'm going to start putting them as close as I can to the top without them going over. You want to make sure that you are getting good connection between your rhinestone and the tumbler. You want your spacing to be close together. You don't have to cram them. You don't want them to be so tight that you don't have any room left for movement as you proceed with filling in the rest of them. With the honeycomb pattern, they're all kind of like interlocked, but you don't want them so tight because you want to be able to make adjustments to keep everything lined up as you're going along. Then I will put the rest of them on for this row. While we are doing that, if you guys have any additional questions, if you can go ahead and post them and we will answer them. We are going on about an hour, which is all we had scheduled for this evening. So we will continue this with our tutorial tomorrow. And we will do this in a two-part. So your homework for this evening is to get all of your aquamarine rhinestones for the pattern. Well, no, let's not do that. You need to get you need to get your heart put on, color this section with the white paint pen, and then put on the aquamarine rhinestones. as well as all of the crystal rhinestones. And when you do the crystal, only your homework is to get up to the top of this heart. That's what your homework is to get that section of the pattern done. So this right here, that's your homework, is to get this section done. And if you want to like wait to put on your heart so that it like lines up and it's a little bit more symmetrical with your pattern, place a couple rows of the crystal, and then once you place the row, then put your heart on and put it up right next to that last row. That's going to help minimize the number of small filler rhinestones that you need to use to fill in the gaps where the SS20s do not fit. If you want to work beyond that, you're going to place the crystal rhinestones as far as you can up next to the 3D heart until the full one won't fit. When there is that little gap right there, that gap, you're going to go back with the smaller rhinestones from the multi-size pack, and you're going to fill in those small spaces with the smaller size rhinestones. So I'm not sure if my camera is going to focus on it that close, but if you can see, all of the SS20s I placed as far as I could up to the 3D heart, and then that gap in between where it would no longer fit anymore, I just put smaller size rhinestones in there to fill those gaps. And then that is how you're going to fill that in. And because we're colored the background with the white paint pen, you're not going to see the gaps in between those stones as much because it's colored in between that, and we're help blending in that space. So if you guys have any other questions, we're going on about 1 hour and 10. So we will call it for this evening. But if you have any questions, post them in the chat now, and I will answer them before we hop off. Otherwise, I will see you on the live tomorrow, what time is that? Is that one? That is tomorrow is Wednesday. That is from 2 to 3 o'clock is when I will see you for that one. And you can go back and watch any of the replays on our YouTube channel. Go to the live section and you can see them all there. So I will see you guys back here again for tutorial number 5 tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you then.